Moses is one of the greatest leaders in the Bible, chosen by God to deliver Israel from Egypt, to part the Red Sea, and to guide God's people for 40 years in the wilderness. Yet after all that, Moses himself was not allowed to enter the Promised Land. Why? The story is found in Numbers 20. The people of Israel were grumbling once again because they had no water. God told Moses to take his staff and speak to the rock, and water would come out for the people to drink. It was a clear command. Tell the rock before their eyes to yield its water. Numbers 28. But instead of speaking to the rock, Moses struck it twice with his staff. Water still flowed out, but God was not pleased. Moses had disobeyed, and more than that, he had misrepresented God to the people. Moses said, "Hear now, you rebels. Shall we bring water for you out of this rock?" Numbers 20:10. Notice those words, "Shall we bring water?" Moses took the moment into his own hands, speaking as if he and Aaron were the ones providing the miracle, instead of giving the glory to God. This may seem small, but for a leader chosen to represent God, it was huge. Leaders are held to a higher standard. Moses had stood in God's presence, seen his glory, and heard his voice directly. When he disobeyed and dishonored God before all the people, it showed a lack of trust and reverence. So God said, "Because you did not believe in me, to uphold me as holy in the eyes of the people of Israel, therefore you shall not bring this assembly into the land that I have given them." Numbers 20:12. Moses would still see the promised land from Mount Nebo, but he would not enter it. In Deuteronomy 34, Moses climbed the mountain, looked over the land, and then died there, buried by God himself. This wasn't cruelty from God. It was justice. Moses had a special responsibility, and when he failed, God made it clear that his holiness is never to be taken lightly. Even a great prophet like Moses could not escape the consequences of disobedience. But here's something amazing. Centuries later, Moses did step foot in the Promised Land. In Matthew 17, at the transfiguration of Jesus, Moses and Elijah appeared with Christ on the mountain. Moses finally stood in the land, not through the law, but through Jesus. That's a powerful reminder that only Christ can bring us into the true Promised Land. Don't forget to like and subscribe